Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Shannon Show. As you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, this is a manga reading vlog, and I'm kind of using that as like an overarching term because I'm also going to be including some manhwa and some other things that are generally included in the manga section of the bookstore of Barnes & Noble. So I have 4 books to start off with, which is a pretty solid number for a reading vlog. I might get some more. I might do like a little book, go to the bookstore at some point during this reading vlog and get some more. But as of right now, I'm starting off with 4, and I was thinking of making this like a read it or unhaul it, but I just did, like, at least in terms of when I'm recording this, I just did a read it or unhaul it video, and that also went up relatively recently in terms of when this is going up. So I just need a little bit of a break, and like I said, I only have 4 books, which I doubt I'll be unhauling any of them. 2 of them for sure I wouldn't be unhauling, and then the other 2 highly unlikely. So just to go over the main 4 books of this video, so going over the books and also just the descriptions. And the first one is volume 1 of the Savior's Book Cafe Story in Another World. And I actually had this gifted to me by one of my friends who's been my friends for, we've been friends for like probably 2 decades at this point. We went to the same school together. Anyway, she gifted this to me, and then reading the description: a book lover's fantasy. Sukina is a single 30-something office worker whose favorite thing is curling up with a good book. When a god tells her that she must go to another world and become its magical savior, Sukina isn't interested. She has zero desire to go on some grand hero's journey. So when she arrives in this strange new land, she decides to use her magical powers to create a cozy little book cafe instead. Her first customer is a handsome soldier who loves reading almost as much as she does. But when a fellow savior starts causing trouble, Sukina might just have to play the hero after all. So this definitely seems like right up my alley, and it's kind of funny because it's like I'm really picky with my romance. I shouldn't really be looking into this, but this should be right up my alley. Hopefully I will really like this. And then next up is volume 3 of Delicious in Dungeon. This is one of the ones where I will definitely not be unhauling it. The intention of this vlog is not to unhaul stuff, but this was one of the ones that was, if I were to do an unhaul video, not unhauling this one. So basically, in Delicious in Dungeon, we're gonna go over the back because it doesn't give too much. It's eat or be eaten, literally. The dungeon is no place for the faint of heart, and neither is the kitchen. At least not when whatever dungeon creature comes your way is what's on the menu. As Laios and his party journey deeper into the dungeon, the danger likewise intensifies as they encounter wily mermaids, massive krakens, and irritable undines. But living rough doesn't mean not eating responsibly. The ecosystem of the dungeon exists in a delicate balance between predator and prey, the hungry travelers, just to make sure they're on the right side of the scales. So this one, I'm really enjoying the series. I love the anime. I'm loving the manga so far. I just need to like get the full series and then finish it. And this one should hopefully be one that I finish relatively soon. I've shown my bookshelf before. It's a little bit chaotic right now with the books I had to pull out for this vlog, but as I get more space, if and when I can get more bookshelf space, I will be having more space for this series specifically. And then next up is the Remarried Empress Volume 8. And like this one, I'm not going to give too much away, but essentially volume 1, to talk about volume 1, you have the Emperor Chauvesu and then his wife Navier, and essentially he tells her, like, I want a divorce so I can marry my mistress, and she says that's fine with me as long as I can get remarried to a person of my choosing. That's what we get at the beginning of volume 1, and then we get like flashback scenes that are leading up to it. So I'm not gonna give much more away because volume 8, I'm kind of neck deep in it. And this was the other one that's definitely not being unhauled. Again, all of these books most likely not going to be unhauled, but again, like I was saying, if I were doing an unhauling video, like read and unhaul it, these two are definitely keepers. And then the last one on this list, I was sort of, I have to check something now. I read the first 4 volumes of this. Does this have pronunciation good? I feel so stupid sometimes. Oh my gosh. I feel stupid. There was a pronunciation guide in the back, but that's okay. Okay, because I saw one in the other book I'm just about to show. That was anyway. The next one that is on the list is Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation by Mojiang Tongzhu, otherwise known as Mo Dao Zhu Shi. And description. I really like Heaven Official's Blessing. I have yet to finish the manhwa, but I love that. So hopefully I'll like this just as much. Wait a second, is this an interconnected? Is this interconnected? I feel stupid. I should know. Anyway, I'll look that up later. But Wei Wujian, I don't. Let me go to the thingy. So I want to try to pronounce these names correctly, and hearing it will definitely help, which is why in the anime watch series I had mentioned that I'll be watching the Heaven Official's Blessing in the English dub at some point. But where's the freaking, it should be around here, I think. Okay, sorry, this is okay. Okay. Here it is. Wei Wujian. Xian. I'm so sorry, I feel bad for butchering that, but one of the most talented, outstanding men of his generation, a talented and clever young cultivator who harnessed martial arts knowledge and spirituality into powerful. Okay, he was once a blah blah blah. Into powerful abilities, but when the horrors of war led him to seek a new power through demonic cultivation, the world's respect for his skills turned to fear, and his eventual death was celebrated throughout the land. Years later, he awakens in the body of an aggrieved young man who sacrifices sacrifices his soul so that Wei Wujian can exact revenge on his behalf. Through a granted second life, he is not free from his first, nor the mysteries that appear before him. No. Yet this time he'll face it all with the righteous and esteemed Long Wangji at his side, another powerful cultivator whose unwavering dedication and shared memories of their past life will help shine a light on the dark truths that surround them. This novel series and the novel series that's inspired the live action drama The Untamed. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm gonna look up real quick. We're already 10 minutes into this reading log, but whatever. Okay. I love this. Like, first thing that pops up is a Reddit thing. Okay, so they're not connected. It was just that, I guess for like the pronunciation stuff, it was just explained. It was just, it almost feels like a copy and paste because they were, let me see again, actually. Yeah, because, okay, so it was just like a copy and paste pronunciation guide. Okay, that's fine. It would have been kind of fun if they were like connected series, but not a big deal. So these are the 4 books that are on the TBR for this reading vlog, and I'm also recording the anime watch video around the same time, so I'm going to try to keep these clips as separate as possible so that I don't get them mixed up. But with all that said, I'll see you all in my next update. Okay, so it's been a little bit since I've updated just because it's been a crazy couple of weeks since I first started this video. I started in like mid-June-ish, and it's now like mid to early late June, and it's now July 1st, at least when I'm recording this part. I do have an update, and I just wanted to go over that. As for like going book shopping, that probably won't happen just because, like, I don't know, I haven't really been feeling like going out much lately. So update wise, I read volume 1 of the Savior's Book Cafe Story in Another World, and it's really cute. It's definitely kind of like up my alley, especially what I would have liked in like middle school, high school, not stuff. And like, I still like it, but like I feel like I would have loved it more then. But it's a really good read. Hopefully I'll get more of this manga. And then I read volume 3 of Delicious in Dungeon. Again, really enjoyed it. This one was more of a skim through because a lot of the anime, at least for where the anime is within this volume, a lot of it, it's not necessarily like tit for tat exactly the same, but a lot of it is very close. The anime is very close to the manga, at least with the sections of this manga, of this volume. So this one was a bit more of a breeze through, like a skim it wasn't like a skim through in like that sense, but it did go a little bit quicker. And then let's see what else. And then I also read, because I had it available, I also read the Adventurer's Bible, which, like, the World Guide. And this one was like really fun to go through, and you can see like some of the colors, like especially if you haven't watched anime yet, you can see some of like the color designs. There are adventure relationships and just a lot of extra details to kind of help guide you through who's who, what's what, and all that jazz. So this is a fun little addition. And then now, let me pull it off my bookshelf real quick. Now I'm on to the Remarried Empress Volume 8. I might reread or skim through Volume 7 just to kind of refresh, or at the very least reread the last couple of pages of Volume 7 just to refresh, because it has been a little while. But I'm on to this. And then after this, I'll be reading the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I wanted to say Cultivation. Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I'll be reading that after this. And we're just going to go from there. Like with these, I was just like looking through it. With like graphic novels, like I do kind of look at like the back as well. Like I don't read much, I don't really pay attention to like the text or any dialogue, but I do like take a look at like the artwork just to kind of get an idea. And plus too, for this one specifically, like the artwork in it is beautiful and I love it. So like it's just a matter of like not paying attention to any words on the page. So I'm gonna go with this, go from there, and I'll update you again when that happens. Okay, so one last update for this video, because I've been sick and I'm just starting to feel better, and I don't want to like push this video out too long with recording it. So in this video I have read the Savior's Book Cafe in Another Realm, Delicious in Dungeon, The World Guide, and Volume 3, and then the Remarried Empress Volume 8. And I'm also currently reading, like I mentioned in my last update, the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation by Mojang Tongju, because I got sick. I am feeling better. I know I sound a little bit congested still, but because I've been sick, I only read like 2 chapters, 58 pages. I'm at chapter 3, Prideful, and I know this is going to be another series that I will love and enjoy. However, I'm kind of thinking my tentative plan is to finish up volume 1 of this, and then once I do that, I'm going to finish up Heaven Official's Blessing, and then pivot back to this, so I can focus on one series at a time, and not get the worlds and the characters confused. So that's the plan. Again, I'm 99% certain this will be another series that I will enjoy. And to show off my bookmark for this was done by the artist for Heaven Official's Blessing, one of the artists. I got it at Anime Expo last year. And then something else I also realized is that I have to read the actual book, Under the Oak Tree, Volume 1 by C.G. Kim. I've read the arc, which I have on my shelf. It's somewhere up there. And there shouldn't be too much of a difference between this and then the arc. But I need to read this, and I ordered Volume 2. I pre-ordered Volume 2, which is coming out around my birthday. And the only kind of bummer thing is that I wasn't able to get the arc for Volume 2 at Anime Expo. I know one of my friends went, but I didn't know that she went until after the fact. But we're not going to talk about that. But I need to read Volume 1. Maybe next year when I go to Anime Expo, I'll get Volume 3 arc. The arc for Volume 3, but we'll see. So I need to read this, and then at the very least before I read Volume 2, or before Volume 2 gets here. I have to read this before volume 2. But yeah, so there's this. And like looking at the artwork for volume 2, the cover, it is beautiful, and I'm gonna like fall in love. So yeah, I'm really excited. So that is the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. If you've read any of these and enjoyed them, let me know down below in the comments. But keeping in mind where I'm at with these series, keep them somewhat spoiler free, just so I'm not spoiled. And then I'll see you all in my next. Oh, that's what else I was gonna say. If you have any recommendations for me as to what manga series, manhwa series that I would like based on what I've liked and enjoyed in this series, comment down below in the comments with your suggestions. I would love to receive some suggestions. So this is the official end of this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.